Second Coming, which is a debut feature by the playwright Debbie Tucker Green. She's adapted one of her plays for Channel 4 before, written and directed. And this finds Nadine Marshall and Idris Elba as a couple who they have an 11-year-old child and a history of miscarriages, and she discovers that she is pregnant, and she is conflicted about it. And initially you think the conflict is to do with the problems that she's had in the past, but then as the drama starts to unfold, you find that the reason that she's conflicted is because her and her husband have been sort of physically estranged for a while, and the pregnancy seems to be somewhat inexplicable. And what then happens is it becomes a drama in which there is a central question about how has this happened, what's going on, and it is all played, despite the title of the film, Second Coming, which obviously, actually, funnily enough, has those sort of overtones of, I suppose, The Omen or Rosemary's Baby. But actually what this is it's more in line with, if you think of something like Jesus of Montreal, which I know you like very much, which is a film about sort of very secular miracles. Or I was thinking of a film like Quinceañera, Echo Park, LA, which is the story of what appears to be a virgin conception. It was a few years ago. It was made by the same people who made Still Alice, which I know you like very, very much. And so basically the story is about a woman who is in this position that she cannot explain to her husband, and the tensions that come up through that, and the way in which the family sort of starts to react to this. Of course, the first person who starts to realise that this is going on is her 11-year-old son. It's a very, very low-key film, and here is an appropriately low-key clip.
Night, Mum. Come.
Nice time, huh? Nana spoil you?
Dad gave me the leftovers too.
It's late. Sweet dreams, yeah?
Can I say goodnight to the baby? Right. See you soon. You're small.
You're small. Look at you now. Go brush your teeth.
The film is played out over the months of pregnancy, and it juxtaposes those scenes which are very, very sort of, intimate domesticity. They reminded me to some extent of some Mike Leigh. There's an element of Ken Loach in there as well. Not simply, I was thinking of Kes, not simply because actually one of the key themes is that the boy has an injured bird who he is nurturing and whom he, but the bird is flightless. And yet what we're dealing with is something which in a very strange, very oblique, very sort of just suggested way appears to be dealing with something which may be miraculous. And the film intersperses those scenes of domesticity, which are played so well, which are so convincing, with these strangely sort of hallucinatory visions when Jackie, the central character, goes into the bathroom and starts to have these visions of water. And one of the beautiful things about the way the visions are done is at first they start so gently, you genuinely think it's a problem with the plumbing. And then they start to become something more surreal. Are they dreams? Are they hallucinations? Are they visions? She is resolutely non-communicative on the subject of what she thinks is going on. She is seen by people who sort of demand that she tells them what's going on, and she doesn't. And it reminded me of the ambiguity of Carol Morley's The Falling, which I, if you remember, I liked very, very much. It's a film which asks the audience to make up their own mind about what's happening and about whether what you're seeing is something which is completely natural, completely psychological, completely to do with, in many ways it's about family tensions, it's about the tensions of pregnancy and estrangement within a marriage and of a child coming to terms with the possibility of another child. And on that level, it's wonderfully natural, wonderfully down to earth and realistic. And I have to say the performances are terrific. But there is also this other element to it. And if you want to read it as something which has a more something which is ecstatic, something which is sublime, something which is otherworldly, although that word has strange connotations, you can do. In fact, oddly enough, there are moments when it appears to play its hand, particularly a final shot which has troubled some people, but I loved. I went into this not knowing anything about it at all, and it really captured my imagination. It's a film which is wonderfully ambiguous, very warm, very human, but also transcendent in a strange way. And I think you would really like it, and I think you should watch it.